Welcome back. We have head back over to Field 1, and it's the women's 35 division, and England will be taking on Europe. This is the second time that these two teams will come up against each other. England too good the first time that they clashed, and Dean Russell is joining me in commentary for the first time at the World Cup. Good to see you, Dean.
Thanks, Scotty. It's great to be here in Malaysia. It's a fantastic venue I'm looking out on. It's really well set up here at the National Equestrian Centre. And from what I've been told, the quality of games hasn't been too bad so far.
Yeah, it's been pretty entertaining across a lot of the divisions. Are really starting to get into the thick of it now, and this women's 35s division is no different. It's just the four teams in this competition, so they play each other twice, and they'll be starting to work their way into some finals positions. And it'll be interesting. Always good when you see England coming up against the whole continent of Europe. Interesting to see out on the touch footy field.
Probably no love lost with a few of the ladies out here, but I'm sure it'll be played in a great spirit. And it's good to see the international body getting a foothold in the senior ladies divisions here with the three nations, Australia, New Zealand and England participating, and being able to bring a combined European team to make that fourth team up to get the competition underway. And we're in the referee's hands. It's England tapping off as they start their drive down into the European end zone, and they look to get the ball across there. It's in the hands of Hutchinson there, the red-headed lady. And they're just holding the European defence up. They looked as though they were going to dish off there. That was Jones and Hutchinson working together, just slowing the play down. They come out of half this time. They get around on the wrap. They come back to the left, and that Hutchinson looking to dive through, but the European defence was well suited, and that's the end of that first set.
Yeah, they defended nicely there, the Europeans, the England side coming out and showing their intent. Nice ball movement and some wrap plays coming into the line, but Europe I should say, they held off nicely, and it's their first time with the football now.
And it'll be interesting to see how the European team combines. So far, their drive has looked pretty good as getting to their box, but a little bit disjointed on that time. The acting half thought the wrapper was coming around to her left-hand side, but actually McCallion was coming to the right. And now England through the hands of Rickard. Now they've got the ball in the hands of Joyce. She drives across towards the right-hand side of the field. Rickard with the ball again. She drives down into the attacking zone. And England once again, they'll look to slow it up here. It's in the hands of Davis at the moment. Makes the touch. She's about 10 out. The ladies from England they're with Wilkinson there at half. She looks to go. She's through the right line. She'll go long here to the winger. The winger's free. And that'll be she's put the ball down. I nearly put the mock on poor Margaret Rees there in saying that'll be the first touchdown, but the golden opportunity lost.
Yeah, Margaret Rees, unfortunately, it was there for her to take and get the opening touchdown of the match. It was nice work in the middle of the park. It just kind of opened up the space through the middle and looked to go right. I think it was Shah Rees Wilkinson from half and just went straight through, looked to link up, but they put the ball down and a missed opportunity for England.
And now Europe this time through Spencer. It's in the hands of Fullard. She drops the ball back inside on the 6 to Watson. And now England will take possession deep in their own half, and they'll look to drive forward. A bit of lateral play at the moment, and now they go forward. A pass over the top there in the hands of Wilkinson. She's on her own 10. And now they look to shift across to their own box as Davis goes across the field, makes good yardage. The European team is going to have to move forward and not just wait for England to drive into them. And here they go now, England. Now they're into the red zone, as we'd like to refer to it. The ball back to the right-hand side of the field. They come back to the left. Out of half here on the last. They get the ball out to Rees. And it was Wilkinson again.
Yeah, decent set from England, but they weren't really asking too many questions. But at least the next best option is that they finish down deep into the European end of the field in the corner. So it makes for a hard work here for Europe to try to get out of their line, and they turn the ball over as a result.
Yeah, that's good pressure there from Gaskell. She's come up there to put the pressure on. The ball's in the hands of Joyce. Gaskell at half. She gets it out on the right-hand side now as they drive forward in the hands of Jones. Gaskell to half. picks up the subs streaming on. It looks like there is Rickard there directing play. She was calling the ball back in the inside there. I think that's Powley Williams with the ball. Rickard with the ball in her hands now. She shifts it off to... that's Rickard at half now. She gets around on the wrap here. There's an opportunity again for England. That's Rickard off a simple wrap play. Gets on the outside of the European defence and scores to make the first touchdown. 1-0 to England.
Yeah, Powley Williams orchestrated that one. She's the one to watch, I think, in terms of the attacking prowess of this England side. Took control. She came onto the field in that set of 6 and summed up the situation beautifully to get England their first touchdown of the match.
And Scott, the viewers are probably looking out there, they'll see it's a beautiful looking conditions, but the humidity and heat's very, very hot.
Yeah, we're probably a little bit worried about our European and England friends out here in the sun. There's been a few comments and a few burnt skins getting around some of the England and European tents. But yeah, these conditions are definitely hot, but probably conditions that they haven't been able to train in or be used to, and they're just going to have to do the best that they can here at the World Cup.
Yeah, just before this game started, the heat index was at 39.2. So I know the tournament officials will be keeping a close eye on that before they look to make some adjustments to the conditions of play. It's Europe now. They're into the red zone. They'll be looking to attack England, but that was on the last touch. And again, a struggle for Europe, but you can understand that with disjointed attack, bringing a whole heap of girls together from a number of different nations. Probably had limited opportunity to train in the lead up to the World Cup, but it's just great to see them here, Scott.
So England now driving in. They're just about to move over the halfway line. Let's see what sort of attacking shape they've got. They've still got touches up their sleeve. This is good movement here, but I think she's from acting half. Yeah, caught it acting half, so really needed to link up there, Dean.
Yeah, again, they look as though they're just playing for field position, the English ladies, and then try to attack when they get deep into the red zone of Europe. Now, Europe a bit disjointed here again. They're trying to get the ball forward. They're just short of their own half. Short 5 that time from the referees is not helping the European ladies out, but that's a better drive as they get into the line now on the 5th. The ball's in the hands there of Joyce.
Whoa, big hit.
She's very, just saying hello, good morning, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that was it. It wasn't really any malice in it, just two bodies coming together. It looked a bit more spectacular than what it was. But the ladies are tough. They get plenty of contact. They love the contact as well. Bounce straight back up to the feet, and we're back underway.
Yeah, and there's a good run there from Bellew. Picks up the penalty and gets a piggyback down the field now. For offside, Richardson with the ball. She drives into the European territory. She's 12 in their side of halfway. The ball back in the hands now of Davis. And there again is Hutchinson. She's calling a lot of the play out there. Davis sweeps around to the right-hand side of the field. She dummies and dives. Well, I think she should have put the ball through the hands there. I think Olivia Jones had an opportunity to score on the outside of the link, but decided to dummy and dive herself. Still England in their attacking zone. The ball in the hands of Hutchinson. She drops it back inside now to Rickard. And there's another penalty, so they'll get a set of 6 here. And getting the feeling, Scott, there's an opportunity. England might go 2-0 up.
Yeah, they've got the European side on the ropes here, but you're right in that previous set there, Dean. They definitely had space out on that right-hand side if they could have progressed the ball out there, so it was a chance miss from England, but 6 more touches here to rectify.
All right, there Rickard's with the ball. They're bringing the European ladies out. She dumps down in front of Hutchinson. Hutchinson gets it out to Paulie Williams, and there's an easy pass out to Hutchinson, and she finds the winger out there who scored. I've just missed the number, but good hands through the line and set up well by the English team, but on the back of 2 penalties in a row and really put pressure on the Europeans.
Yeah, it's Danielle Powley-Williams again. That potent attacking play from her. Whenever she comes onto the field and they're down that attacking zone of the European defence, they look dangerous, and she looks like she can create something in most occasions, and she does so again in that set.
The Europeans now, they'll be looking to try and work their way into this game. This is better. They stroll across the field with they brought Fullard back inside. And there she goes from half. They're chopping across the field, bringing the late switch back in. The half will come out here. There it is, the switch back to Francis. Francis back to Birch. She's caught Francis at half. The ball's in Birch's hand. She's looking to dive. She drops it back inside to Francis. Francis is down. Birch out of half. She goes to the right-hand side, but no offerings there as the English defence closes up.
Yeah, she's the one to watch probably from the European side, from the matches that we have covered from them. Holly Birch seems to be their star player in attack, and she'll be looking to create something. Just couldn't quite get the opening touchdown there for the European side.
England now going back to this structured offence that they seem to have coming out of their own half. Single drives, sometimes referred to arrows, but that time in a standing start, and Gaskell was caught rather than being on the run, tried to take off from a standing start. And there goes Paulie Williams again, but this time the pass on the ground. Rees couldn't take that one. Good opportunity here for Europe in a good sense to start their attacking end.
Yeah, they've got themselves into the grind a little bit better here, Europe, but they need to get a little bit more direct with their attack as they look to straighten up now. England only just made it onto the other side of the halfway line, and Europe, they're looking to make them pay.
And they bring the sweepers on from the sub-box. McCallion drives down in front. They give the ball now to Appleton. Appleton gets it down, but it's dropped there by Jenkinson. Anne-Marie Jenkinson not being able to hold on to that one, and England will now have to work it right off their own line. And straight into this drive down, playing very direct as they just shift the ball 2 passes wide now, looking to get to their own sub-box. You'll see this a lot with some of these teams coming out of their own half. They'll look to get their sub-box on so they can get players coming on in the latch from the sub-box, trying to swing on and isolate the middle defender. And here's a go from Gaskell. And she's called played on. Sorry, that's Hutchinson's called played on. She's given the ball back inside to McKay, and McKay scores, and that was just simply taking out of half. The European ladies were offside, and the referee called play through.
Yeah, good response there from Hutchinson, who went through from half. Must have been listening to the referees calling that the players were offside, got into the position to be able to take that advantage, just put the head down. Good support play there from Kate Mackay as well, and number 3 on the board for England.
3-0 for England, and Europe now would probably be getting a little bit concerned. Here's the tap off. A little bit of a mistake there, but anyway, the referee's picked it up and he's got to go again, and we're away.
I think the heat is starting to get to him out there, Dean. They're going loco.
Well, it is a bit warm. We say warm. So, and there was off the mark, the referees ruled there, so that meant that they rolled the ball not on the correct space. And England again now, well, looking to drive. They're getting across to their own box. They're looking to bring their fresh troops on. And there's Joyce. She takes it. She swings the pass out to the players coming in on the latch or the sweep. And there's Paulie Williams. She drops it back inside. Paulie Williams out of half of the right-hand side of the field. She's nearly through, but well read there defensively. And that looked like it was Jenkinson there from Europe who was able to shut that play down. Europe now. This is better from Europe. More yardage in their drives. Again, you'll see that they're moving it to their sub-box to get fresh troops on, and that's Petrell at half. Now the ball's in the hands of Spencer. Spencer rolls the ball there. Sim has picked it up. She's given the pass back to Falud, who dummied, but the touch was made there well by Richardson. Last touch here. They shift the ball to the wing. That's Elmgren. She tries to get the pass around there to Watson, but a penalty there for late pass, and England, a set of 6 now, just starting their own side of halfway. Very lateral at the moment. I don't think the coach will be happy with that. You want to see a bit more of this direct style of play, and that's a better drive there from Bellew. And now it's the 7 there, and then she's gone straight through Davis. She's heading for the line, but she dives. The referee's called touch. Just short, but that was, again, just came straight off the direct play. The ball's in the hands of Richardson. There's a Richardson playing for England, and there's a Richardson playing for the opposition too. Oh, that's a terrible pass. I'll put the mock on poor Lucy Richardson there.
Yeah, they turned the ball over, but it was a great run there from the England players, but they just couldn't capitalise on the end of it. But they're really starting to put the pressure on Europe. They need a better set coming out of their end. It was a really clunky one. The previous time, that was flat at best, and that second pass as well. They've got to get forward here, Europe. You
can tell there's a bit of fatigue coming into both teams, but more so the European teams. as McCallion drives it forward. That's better from Europe, and they want to see that more often. And then the ball at the hands now of Appleton. She gets it down, but no half. Too slow down with the downtime of the ball. And McCallion comes to the right-hand side of the field, but wrapped up well there by Davis, and it'll be a changeover to England. 15 metres in their own side are halfway. As Jones brings the ball back into play. It's in the hands of Richardson. She dummies and gets the drive forward. And there was Hutchinson now. She picks up Davis on the sweep. Now it's in the hands of Richardson, and they're just driving forward, but they're held up here as the subs drive onto the field now. Well, coming out of here, they put the ball in the hands of Rickard. Rickard comes back to the left. It's down in front of McKay. McKay takes off. She looks for Rickard, but that was well read there defensively by Europe. And no opportunity to score. Well, Rickard thinks it's the last.
It's the heat, I'm telling you. Everyone's going loco out there. Don't know. In that previous play, though, when the half runner come through, I felt if they'd just progressed through the line and would get into the in-goal area, there was a little bit of a chance to be able to connect up. But they still got the ball here, England, and they're
Joyce
on the attack.
Fades across the field. She puts it in the hands of Paulie Williams. And like you said earlier, it's got the English attack, a lot of it coming off Paulie Williams, but the other two players who seem instrumental out there are both Rickard and Hutchinson. Europe now. Too lateral for mine at the moment. McCallion's been good for him. She seems to drive forward. But you see, when you're lateral, your subs come on from in front of the ball, and it makes it difficult for the drive to come through. And they're held up here again. This will be a good set for England defensively. They'll get the ball back in good field position. And here's the last now as they take off from half. Oh, she put a foot out there, but the referee missed it, and that's Francis. There's going to be a penalty here. Referee Nick Alton from all the way from Griffith, Australia. He's picked that up, and now England. They move the ball now through McKay. In the hands of Rickard. That's better, driving directly, going forward, putting the Europeans on the back foot. There goes Paulie Williams coming in. Paulie Williams coming in to drive forward again. She's got the ball back from the half. She's looking to drop it back on the inside, which she does. Paulie Williams to half. She gives it to Rickard. Gets around on the wrap. Paulie Williams directing traffic. She drops it to Rickard. Rickard wants to use it to the left. And just a bit disjointed. That ball bonus. Absolute bonus there for England. That was probably their worst attacking set, but they've picked up a penalty in the red zone, Scott.
Yeah, playing really lateral towards the back end of that set there, England, so they're lucky to get a penalty and 6 more touches. The same with what we're calling from Europe. If we can just get the England side to start driving into the line, the Europeans will get on the back foot and they'll get some advantage coming from that play.
And there goes Eve around on the sweep, trying to dive through. She's collected a couple of the Europeans on her way, but... well, Eve wanted to get... You are right, they are going loco with the heat. Eve got touched. She wanted to give the ball to Rickard to bring back into play. But Rickard now puts the ball in the hands of Chong. Celeste Chong there for Europe. She drops it back to Rickard. They send Eve around on the sweep again. She's going for the same play to dive through. But again, good defence there from Europe. They've set that play up twice now, and they'll see if they've set another option off it. It's in the hands of Rickard. Rickard will drive down in front of Chong. Chong out of half, back to the left-hand side. She drives through the line, but again, good defence from Europe, and they hold them out this time. And as we approach half-time, Europe really need to try and work their way back into this game, and that's a better start with their drive. They bring their subs back on now. Oh, and that's a mistake they didn't really want to see. They're going to give England now 6 sets in their own half. And there's Hutchinson. She's driving forward. She's been full of energy. And she goes to again. I'll just slow up here because they are looking to bring fresh troops on. You can see Eve there holding the play up as they bring the players back into play. Then the 16, she drops it back inside. That's over the top. The ball in the hands of Wilkinson. She's down. Wilkinson's got the ball back in her hands now. They're pointing there. She's got to the left-hand side of the field. There's a chance there. And well handled by Jones.
Yeah, good call from the referee.
What it was for. Yeah. Forward pass, he said.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off there, Dean. It was the right call. It actually came off the fingertips of the left link here for England and progressed forward out to the left winger. So good call from the refs.
Now this is better from Europe as they drive down through Joyce. And there's another one from Spencer. They need a punch on the end of this as the ball's in the hands of Appleton. She fades across the field, gets down in front of Jenkinson. Jenkinson back to McCallion. McCallion with the ball. She's looking to bring the English defence up. There's the touch made. She's got the ball back from the half, but a penalty here now. They'll have 6 sets. in the red zone, 5 metres out from the English line. Right on half time, so they'll throw caution to the wind here, you would think. Appleton. I'll tell you what's a fair hooter, just by the by.
Great hooter.
Appleton, she shifts the ball to the right-hand side of the field. It's in the hands of Falud. Falud tries to get the pass out. Well read by England. And at half-time, Scott, we've got England 3, Europe 0 in the women's 35s.
Yeah, England, although the score is only 3-0 at the moment, they are really in control of this match. Europe finding it really hard to progress out of their end of the field and get down to the attacking zone to try to create anything at this stage. England, I think, if they can just do the simple things right and keep their defensive pressure, they'll end up rolling away with this match.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. The European coach would be, I would suggest, talking to them about their transitional play. And what I mean by that is when they get the ball back off their own line, how they transition both to the sub box to get their substitutions on, and also but driving deeply into the English half to make sure that when they give England the ball back, they're giving them back with plenty of work to do, so they have to drive down the field rather than just give them the ball back where there's only just inside the English half. So the English girls, on the other hand, they've been pretty impressive. They've got that direct style of play, really coming off the back of Powley Williams, Rickard and Hutchinson, and they've been impressive. We're back now here with the second half, the women's 35s, Europe versus England. England holding a 3-0 touchdown score over Europe as we start the second half. The ball in the hands now of Joyce. She drives forward. This is better from Europe. They're more direct. They're a bit more intense with their play. They skip the ball out there. It's in the hands of Birch. Birch fades across the field. They bring their sweeper around. And they look there, but well read defensively from England. And that was Falloud coming around there on the... Oh, sorry, it wasn't. It was Francis on the sweep. But I'll tell you what, I like the way they've started there. A bit more intense, a bit more purpose. And now England coming off their own line. They drive around the far side of the field. The ball in the hands of Gaskell. This is, again, by bringing their subs on, they'll hold it up here a little bit. Jones... She finds the winger, and again, everything England do go means going forward. There's Ricard with the ball. She's been good in the first half. And there's Hutchinson, and she's straight through. She'll be looking what? With the referees found a penalty there.
Half court. Must have been a hand in there at some stage.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but there's no objection. So obviously the right calls from the referees. But again, the result of just direct play, Scott.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's just going to be their go-to play. The 3 touchdowns that they scored early in the match, well, I think at least 2 of them came from dummy half runs as we get a penalty here to England. So there might have been a message coming out of the coaching box of the England side. If you get a good strike dump come through, pick up and go from half.
Yeah, the very simple coaching philosophy too, Scott. If you're doing something that's working, stick with it. Don't change it. And you see a lot of teams have success with something and then want to change, and rather than just sticking with what is working. Europe now, they're into the red zone. The ball in the hand of Sim. She'll drop it back inside now to Falloud. Falloud with the ball. She gives it back to Sim. They're just holding play up. Sim down in front of Falloud. Falloud now finds on the right-hand side of the field. Oh, little opportunity there. Not really read by the Spencer. Trying to bring Falloud back in off her right shoulder. Here's England now. Powley Williams, she had a very strong first half. Really instrumental in setting up a lot of the play, and she's picked up a penalty, but she may have also picked up a little bit of a niggle there. I can see that she is wearing a compression sock on her left leg, and she just seemed to hobble a little bit going into that sub box. And I'll tell you what, she won't want that when they come up against the Australian team. A very fast and fit-looking outfit they are. And now, it's in the hands of England as they drive into the European line. And that was Bellew looking on the outside. She gives the ball back to Rees. Rees drives to step inside her player and dive, but no luck there. Rees now with the ball. It's in the hands of Wilkinson. She fades across. Drops it off there to Richardson. She's down. Wilkinson out to the left-hand side of the field. She's cut through the line. She's got an opportunity to score. She'll be looking to find the cutter there. And that looked like Davis. A really well-executed cut move where the acting half slices through. The winger runs the in-line and the link fades around, Scott.
Yeah, that's the second time Wilkinson's picked and gone from half, and good support play as well to finish that touchdown off. So, again, it's just that simple play from England, and they get number 4 on the board. Now, Dean, I've got to give a shout-out to the women's 35 side. You might not have tuned in yesterday. I did call one of their games. They gave me a media sheet before their game with some statistics about their players, and they were so outrageous that I couldn't believe that they were true. Now, one of them on there was that one of the players invents chocolates and works for Mars. Now, I said to him, I won't believe any of the other stats unless you can bring me some chocolates for Mars. And what have you got your hands on right now in the commentary box?
I've got the mini Mars bars.
Mars bars. So the 35s for England, I believe everything that you say. I think there's a player who has represented England in taekwondo, bobsled and karate. It's all true.
Well, mate, I learned a very valuable lesson very early in life. Believe what a woman tells you.
Yes, I agree. Having been married for 1 year, I've said yes for 365 consecutive days.
Only once? Anyway, so the ball's in the hands of England now. There was a forward pass, the referees have missed it, and they drive through the line there with a good diving touch. Eve thought she might have been through. England now, good attacking position. They're just slowing the ball up again. There's Hutchinson. She's been very good. Out of the half goes Eve. She's gone back to the left-hand side. They've found some weaknesses there a few times with the European team, but not on this occasion. And referee Alton has ruled the touch has been made. 6 touches. That'll be a changeover. Sorry, that was the acting half court was the signal. And now Europe coming deep out of their own half. Again, they're going a bit lateral. I'd like to see them go drive forward with momentum. And the half court, they're putting pressure on the receiver. And this is better. She's always been going forward there, McCallion. And it's in the hands now of Birch. This is better, driving forward. McCallion with the ball. Driving into the centre of the field. She's looking to release Appleton out of half. Back to McCallion. McCallion not looking on the outside. And there's Appleton with the ball. And there's 6 touches. So again, they probably wasted 2 or 3 opportunities with lateral play coming off their line.
Yeah, touch 2 and 3 was actually a lot better, as you mentioned. Nice direct rucking down the field. But when they're making changes, they're sweeping on and going back to that lateral movement across the field. It takes all the momentum out of their ruck speed coming into the England line, and they lost count of the touches in the end, and they turned the ball back over to England, and they're on the attack.
Yeah, and here go the English girls again as Richardson drives in. It's who releases there, Wilkinson. But the acting half court, yeah, you're right about the sub-box play. You really want to be driving with momentum. Yes, you have to move the ball laterally to get to the sub-box, but you want to go into the sub-box with momentum so you can bring your substitutions on direct and with momentum to try and isolate that middle defender and create opportunities off the interchanging of sub-players. Europe now, you see they're getting caught up here again laterally. 3 passes, not really going anywhere, but that was better that time by Spencer. She put the ball under her arm and went forward. And again, just getting caught out there, Sim, and you see a lot of the times they're not even getting to the English 10 before the handover, and that's got to be disappointing for the coach.
Yeah, it's unfortunately looking a little bit similar to the first half now, where Europe really struggled to get over the halfway line, and England, they had repeat sets of the football down this attacking end of the field, and they've got another set here, and they'll be looking for their 5th.
Yeah, there's Eve. She's rolled the ball. It's in the hands now of Chong. She's asked the referee what the count is. He's given the signal. Chong with the ball. She's got to remember she's acting half here. She releases now. They send Eve around on the sweep again, attacking the left-hand side of the European defensive line, trying to force the pass there, but they've picked up a penalty. Obviously, the English coaches have picked up a defensive weakness there at half-time. They've sent a lot of attack early in this second half to that left-hand defensive line. England now with the tap. Let's throw the dummy and move the ball back to Chong. Chong just fading across the field. She's telling the girls where she wants them to go. She'll be looking to drop this ball back inside, and they're going to send they're going to send Joyce around on the sweep. There she goes back to the left-hand side of the field. She dives to the line, but the referee said that the defence had made it onside, and again attacking back to the left-hand side. That old adage, if something's working, stick with it.
Yeah, it is working for them at the moment. Just on that occasion there, I thought Susan Joyce, she actually straightened back into the line. If you kick back out to the left-hand side, they might have been able to create that overlap on that left-hand edge.
Looks like they're setting for that sweep play again, this time with Eve going around on the left. But they dummy and come back to the right, and that's Joyce out of half. She's got through the line. She's looking wide to the winger, and that's a great touchdown there by Olivia Jones. They sequenced that play really well. The 2 plays before, they'd run the sweeper around. They ran him around on the third, through the dummy, and came back to the right, Scott. Really well set up by the English ladies.
Yeah, you called it perfectly there, Dean. It was great setup, and they come back to the open side of the field. And Joyce, she just scooted through from half. Good turn of foot there, and she couldn't have held on to that football any longer. She got it away just at the last minute and finished off nicely in the corner.
Now Europe. This will give them an opportunity of going a bit more direct this time. And in the half there, they've given the ball now to Joyce. There's another Joyce. There's a Joyce on both sides of the field too. That's now in the hands of Birch. She's given it to Anthony of Joyce. Birch out of half. She hits a good angle. That's a great angle. A great angle there. And I think that might have been Anne-Marie Jenkinson. I just missed the number there. I'll see if I can see it as she comes to the sub box. But a really good line run there, Scott.
Yeah, great line and great ball from Holly Birch. She is one of their key playmakers in this European side. Just took her time as well, summed it up perfectly. There was no defensive pressure coming from England, but the line was the key to that, and straight through the middle. That's not where you want touchdowns to happen if you're the England side, but Europe, it's good work for them to get their first touchdown of the match.
Yeah, Tanae Francis was the young lady who ran that line, Scott, and a great line it was too. England now with the ball with Richardson. They come around to the right-hand side of the field. They've created an opportunity to dive under here. That's going to be a touchdown. They've run the same sweep play they've been running to the left. This time Claire Davis comes back to the right, and England put another touchdown on the board.
Yeah, Davis just looked straight ahead, put the foot down to the pedal as well. Unfortunately, that's not what Europe would have wanted after scoring a touchdown of themselves. They've let one in straight away in the next set, but that was just good speed and momentum coming into the line, and a nice try there from Claire Davis.
All right, let's see if we can get Europe back across the line again as Birch taps off. And Joyce, that's Anthea Joyce playing for Europe. It's in the hands of Hyman. Hyman gets the ball down. They get the ball back to Birch. Birch looks to bring out the wrapper around. And that was the try scorer who came around there, Francis. Birch is going to get caught out here. She's got to release. Oh, that was forward. And that's that lateral play and no real domination. But again, you can't be too critical of the European ladies. Trying to bring players from right across the European spectrum to play together in the World Cup must have been a difficult task.
Yeah, it's a tough ask for sure. They've done a really good job just to get a team out on the park here. No doubt they would have had limited training together, but they're doing a really good job. And all the matches that we've seen them play, at not one stage have they given up or let it get away from them. They play to the end, Hooter, and they're doing that again here in this match.
Here's the dangerous Paulie Williams there. She tried to bring Hutchinson back on a reverse switch, but well read by Europe. And that's better. Drive the ball forward, Europe. Is this the Battle of Brexit?
Well, funny you should mention, because one of the stats on their media sheet is that they have a sub-box play called Brexit. I think that might actually be true. We're trying to pick when Brexit gets used.
I wouldn't. If I'm the coach, I'm not using a sub-box play called Brexit because that means it's just going to break down.
That's exactly what we were discussing. We actually said it's probably going to take them 3 goes to actually try to get it right, and then someone will tell them, no, we're going to have to try it again. So I did like that creativity from the England Women's 35. I'm declaring it right now. They are my favourite team in the whole tournament.
Okay, well, you've heard it there first from Scott. He's right on the back of the English ladies here as they drive forward through Hutchinson. They bring the ball back inside. And this is Bellew. Bellew's been really good driving the ball forward. And now the half goes Wilkinson. She's through the line again, back to the left-hand side. A really good line there. And it looked like the 7, Claire Davis, has got through. And now they're really starting to open Europe up. And every time they get into the red zone, Scott, they look as though they're going to score.
Yeah, it took the perfect option there. Looked to the open side, and there wasn't numbers out there for the English side. Came off the right foot nicely, and they had a 4-on-2 overlap. It only just came down to finding someone in support play. They did it perfectly, and they're starting to run away with this a little bit now, England.
All right, Europe now. They're looking to get another one on the board. One for the Ryder Cup team, maybe. I'm always a fan of the European Ryder Cup team. Give it to the Yanks every time they can. And there's now McCallion. She's been good for Europe. In the hands now of Appleton. Out of half now. That's the 15. Jenkinson, she finds McCallion. McCallion back to the right-hand side of the field. She takes off again here, McCallion. She's looking to create something every time she's got the ball in her hands, and a good little interchange there between Jenkinson and Appleton. And now England they drive forward through Chung. In the hands of Eve. She's looking to get the box. There's Chong again. She's been good this second half. In the hands of Hutchinson. She's been strong. She's going to look to release Rickard from half. She gets the ball back from Rickard. She drops it back inside to Rickard. She drives deep into the European. Hutchinson, and there's the 6th touch. But they'd set that play up well. They just hadn't counted correctly. And that wasn't too bad a play.
Yeah, they look dangerous again. There's no doubt the coaching staff from the England side have pointed that out to the ladies out there just to straighten up coming into fourth and fifth, and they've really gotten value as they turn the ball over Europe and they're straight back on the attack.
And a quick play there. Hutchinson looking to get out of there. The dangerous Polly Williams is on the field. She gives it back to Hutchinson. There's three keys. Hutchinson, Rickard and Polly Williams. There's Rickard at half. Gives it to Polly Williams. She goes around, she dives. It's step off the right. Nearly got in the outside of the defender. But with those three on the field, you tend to sense that there's something going to happen here. Hutchinson with the ball, just bringing the Europeans out. Drops it back inside to Rickard. Hutchinson goes to half. She finds Polly Williams. Polly Williams drives to the line, but again the European defence is there to close it down. These ladies taking all the time in the world, and you can't blame them in the heat.
Oh, mate, it's really starting to get quite warm out there.
Hutchinson goes back to the left-hand side. She's cut through the line. She's found Jones, Olivia Jones. And that's at least 2, maybe 3 for Olivia Jones. And the ladies from Mars or England, the Mars Bar girls, are really running away with this now.
It was a good finish there in the end. She was actually down low on the ground for quite some time, and Hutchinson just drops a nice low ball down in the support play, and another touchdown to the best team in all of the World Cup.
Okay, thank you for that, Scott. And but they have hammered the right-hand side defence of the European ladies. They're at left attacking zone. So Europe nearly get through there. A great touch there on the line. I think Europe thought they might have scored. Birch at half. She gives the ball back now to Francis. Francis, Europe's only touchdown scorer. As England lead 8 touchdowns to 1. They're coming off their line now, the English ladies. They swirl around to the other side. That's Eve. She releases the ball. They get it down there in front of their sub-box. And that's... Ooh. Now, I'm going out there. I'm saying that's Brexit.
Oh, that might have been Brexit because it's incomplete.
Europe now with the opportunity to start inside the English half. The ball in the hands of Hyman. She gives it now. So again, they're just too lateral, Birch, that time. Driving the ball forward was Hyman. In the hands of Spencer. Bringing substitutions on. And that's Fallood. Fallood gives it off to Watson. Watson's caught. Fallood at half. She gives it to Watson. There's nothing really happening for the European girls there now. They've got to go back on the last and slow it all down. The English ladies, they'll just come forward and shut this down without committing too far. And a disappointing set from Europe.
Yeah, it wasn't great, unfortunately. As the subs came onto the field, there was 4 of them that all came on at the same time, and they all got around the football together, which just stopped any sort of progression that they were able to take. They got the touch, they rolled the ball, and all momentum really was taken out of the European side just from that clunky substitution set.
And there's Bellew. She's dropped the ball off there to Davis. Now driving forward there is Richardson. They come on with speed now, the English ladies. And there's a mistake that time by Hutchinson. Probably not fair on her. She's had a pretty good game.
No, the second half in particular, Dean, has been really good from Hutchinson. A couple of try assists with those dummy half runs. But that's back-to-back errors from the England side. No doubt the heat and the fatigue might be starting to play effect.
And here go Europe now. In the hands of Spencer. A good drive forward. McCallion, she's been... Oh, that's another mistake from McCallion. Again, not fair on her. She's had a very good game for the Europeans. One of the few that's really tried to take them forward. As Rickard steps around the first, gets down. Here's the triumphant Paulie Williams, Rickard and Hutchinson. And as they drive in, it'll be Paulie Williams at half. She gives it off to Rickard. Rickard floats back to the left. Underneath her is McKay. McKay brings Paulie Williams back to the left-hand side of the field off a switch. She gives it to Rickard. She's out of half now, Paulie Williams. She goes back to the left-hand side of the field, tries to float the ball over the top to Hutchinson. And the play just comes a cropper.
Yeah, Paulie Williams again, almost creating something on the short side. Again, just taking the speed out, came off the right foot, but it was just probably the looping pass over the top. If it was nice and flat and low and crisp, that might have got another one on the board.
And McCallion now, that's what we talked about, how the way she's tried to take her team forward. It's been followed up by Birch. Just off the mark, slows it down. You want continuity through your play. It's in the hands now of Hynam, and there's full time. They take off from half here. There's an opportunity for Europe, but the English ladies have shut that down. Scotty's favourite team, the English women's 35s.
Oh, they got a penalty here first too, Dean. They might get another one. Let's see if they throw the footy around. It was a touch and pass called right on the hooter.
Hutchinson, she throws the long ball out there. It's gone to ground. I was nervous
the referee's going to call a forward pass and make him go again.
And that's a pretty entertaining game, I'd have to say, Scott. In hard conditions, the heat and the humidity does make it hard. There'll be plenty of sweat on their hands. Their ball control wasn't too bad, but very impressive England women's 35s team.
Yeah, I think the coaching staff will be happy with the performance. Probably one of the most pleasing aspects was that they played to the full 40 minutes. They had an impressive first half, but their second half, I think, was actually better than the first. So they'll take a lot of confidence going out of that. They're going to have to really bring their best performance when they come up against Australia and New Zealand in this division. But all the best of luck to them for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, and you could see there, Scott, the credit to the English coaching staff. Identify the weakness at half-time in the European defensive line, and they hammered away with that. They led 3-0 at half-time. They've run out 8-1 winners to England in the Battle of Brixton, as we've called it. And good luck to both teams as they further progress through this competition.
Welcome back to Putrajaya here in Malaysia, and we are heading back over to Field 6 and it's men's 30s action on the way. Fiji taking on South Africa. And you might have just seen in the footage before this match started, we did have a moment's silence, teams coming together. Unfortunately, we had sad news from the Fijian team. Their men's open coach, who was unwell prior to the tournament, was unfortunately not able to head over to the tournament, passed away last night. And we send our sincere condolences out to the family and to all of our Fijian friends here in attendance and back at home. Our thoughts are with you. But it's 30s action, and I think South Africa have gotten underway perfectly here on the first set. Yeah, they've scored. That was a really nice short ball, link coming in, and opening touchdown to South Africa. So they'll be really happy with that opening to this match. So the 30s, the South African side, this is game number 3 for the two teams. And South Africa, they had a loss in their first match against Australia. 13-1 they went down. They won their second one against France, 7-3. And Fiji, 2 losses for them, a 5-2 loss against Japan and a 7-1 loss against England. So Fiji now, their first chance to attack the line. And they just throw the ball over the top there. Unfortunately, couldn't regather that one in. So for South Africa, they're looking a little bit expansive as well. Now there's some decent contact in the ruck there. And the referee's actually going to give the penalty to South Africa. It might have even been a foot in the ruck. So the South African side, they shift back out to this left-hand side. They look to take on. That's a nice roll ball. Play on's a call, but the dummy half was away from the play. Nice little wrap play here. They're looking impressive and quick here. Nice short ball. The touch is being called. Yeah, the referee's going to move into a position here to blow the penalty. Touch and pass is the call, but yeah, it's been a nice, impressive start here from South Africa. They're showing their intentions early. The speed in which they're playing and the ball movement has been impressive. But Fiji, let's see what they've got. This is only the second possession of the football for them. No doubt they have plenty of attacking flair from the Fijian sides that I've seen so far through the tournament. They just like to throw the football around and get advantage getting up the field by recycling the football. They come into the middle now. Yeah, it was 6 touch, so they might have just lost count of the touch count there, I should say. But look at the transition here from South Africa. Their ruck speed extremely impressive. Yeah, as the substitutions come on, but that's a good touch. They're going to have to go back to the mark now. They redirect it through the middle. Nice early ball from Hart. They go short again into the league. Now that's a beautiful try. Touchdown, I should say, from South Africa. But again, it was just a quick hands there from Hart. Sometimes that's the best option to go rather than picking up and scooping, particularly if you're coming up against a nice set defence. But the ball from Hart was given nice and crisply. And again, they've come down this left-hand side. Nice lines from the South Africans, outside in lines as well, to get their second, and they are looking dangerous early on here, the South Africans. They shift back into the middle of the field now. They'll drive in, they look for the sweep play. The sweep does come around. Now they might have created numbers, but they go the low dive instead. There's going to be a penalty. A number of players being identified from the referee as not moving forward. So, as mentioned, this is the third match for these men's 30s players. They drive into the line. They're just holding the ball up here, Fiji. Still dancing around. Now they'll look to shift the ball. Well, good hands held on to there. Only a couple of touches left in the set now.
Get up!
Move back in towards the middle of the field. They're going to have a dummy half run here. But well touched. No, he's trying to claim that the player was offside, but all good, and they'll get a penalty for not returning the ball. And we are back here for the men's 30s game, and we're just getting a special guest to come into the commentary box. And I'll just jump him in now. So Repo Ohio from the New Zealand side. Good to see you here in Malaysia, mate.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yourself, mate, which division are you playing for New Zealand in the World Cup this year?
So I'm actually helping out, so it's a bit of a player mentor role this season, this time around. So just helping out with the NZ men's and the NZ 35 men's as well.
Oh, excellent, mate. So how have you found your time here in Malaysia, and how are the sides going that you've been looking after so far?
Yeah, so it's definitely been a little bit of getting used to in terms of the climate here. It's a lot hotter than, back in Australia and New Zealand. So a lot of the preparation in our teams has been about preparing for the heat here and the conditions.
Excellent, mate. Where are you at in the tournament? So it was the 35s that you've been looking after. What was the other side you said, sorry?
And helping out with our open men's as well.
And the open men's, yeah. So you've got plenty of experience yourself playing in the open men's team. Talk us through how they're looking so far, and obviously you'll be keeping one eye on the Australians at the same time.
Yeah, so I think we're slowly building through both grades. It's just about trying to tick off the things that, are obviously going to be working for us later on in the tournament. So come Friday and Saturday, it's just about fine-tuning some strategies that are going to help us against Australia, I think.
And how have the boys looked so far? It was only the first day of the competition yesterday, but talk us through the matches that the New Zealand Men's Open side have had so far.
Yeah, so the first game was against Philippines, and that was actually a really good game for the boys. They got up in that game, but it was actually quite close. I think it finished at 10-4 with a very good Philippine team here. A lot of players based in Australia, so they had a lot of touch experience, and they've obviously brought that over here to the World Cup.
Yeah, and talk us through some of the other countries, like you mentioned that you did play against the Philippines in that match, but it's been really good to see the progression of some of the other developing countries, particularly even just over the last 4 years since the last World Cup in Coffs Harbour.
Yeah, so we're definitely seeing that gap that was present, I guess, on past World Cups. It's getting a lot closer now, so there's a lot more teams to be looking out for. So the developing nations have obviously done a lot of work over that time, and the gap between those nations is definitely getting lesser and lesser. So the games are getting harder through the round.
And just aside from the World Cup as well, for viewers that are tuning in across the world, there's been a big development in Australia and New Zealand in terms of the NRL Touch Football Premiership, linking up with the NRL Rugby League competition in Australia and New Zealand. And for the first time, well, this is only the second year of the competition, but the New Zealand Warriors have entered the competition as well. It must be a big moment for touch football in New Zealand.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of excitement back in New Zealand, moving forward with the NRL, with the introduction of the NRL, and obviously seeing the Warriors being included there. So there's a lot of people back home looking forward to seeing the Warriors play, and it's a chance for us to go head to head with Australians a little bit more often now. Instead of just waiting around for Trans-Tasmans, we get a little bit more clashes throughout the year now. So it's really exciting back home in New Zealand, yeah.
Excellent. I really appreciate you jumping in the commentary box for this one. All the best for the rest of the tournament, and we'll be wishing the Kiwis all the luck, and hopefully we might see them on our finals today against the Aussies again.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So we return to action, and again we thank Repo Ohio for jumping in. It's great to get an insight from some of our players, and as mentioned, Repo has plenty of experience in the New Zealand Men's Open team, and it's great to see that the players, once they finish their Opens representative careers, they don't just drift away. Repo's done a great job to come back and mentor the next generation, and also working in the Masters divisions as well, so covering the Touch Football New Zealand mentorship in every aspect. And Adam Collins is joining me back in the commentary box, and he's also got a special guest for us.
Yeah, g'day Scotty, it's great to be back with you here as we see Fiji and South Africa here in the men's 30s. I've got Labib Levy with me here. He's from South Africa. He's a member of the Fit Coaching Commission. but he's also the development director from South Africa, and he tells me that there's quite a few players here that have come through the development system.
Yep.
They're actually involved with the Junior World Cups in 2005.
Yeah, we've had quite a few, and it actually struck me properly now that when I look on the six that was on the field, there were actually many of them were actually in Australia, in the Gold Coast in 2005, and they've gone through our men's open system, and they've obviously gone through the system, and they're playing over 30s now, which is great.
And the boys have been really putting on a great display here in this game against Fiji. Talk us through some of those players that you think will have an impact in this division.
Yeah, well, they've developed their play, so they're looking at. We also have different names to you guys down under, but we're playing a lot of rap plays of the line and second phase plays, getting good policies on in terms of subbing. In this match, for instance, we'll see how they defend. He'll pull a bit. Got it covered, wing, got it. Trying to see, there we have the turnover. They'll probably make their way to the sub box now.
So number 16 there, the acting half, Nick, he's been around a while.
Oh, he's been around, probably more than around. But he's a great player. Actually comes of our beach circuit. We've got a big beach one-touch culture in South Africa, and he's come to that system. And he's a great athlete and a great player.
Yeah, great skill development in South Africa through that one-touch beach touch tournament you talk about as we see them go on a raid down the right-hand side. There's Aiken taking the, wasn't able to get control, or he did, but the sweeping defence from the Fijians take away the opportunity there. But we saw great speed from Aiken. He is a man to watch.
Yeah, he is. I'm not sure if it was Aiken. It was probably Tians, but probably have a first and last have a go power play. And
acting half goes. And there's some nice skills once again. The pass out, but the referees have found an infringement there. Looks like we might have had a forward pass called. Yes, forward pass.
Forward pass.
So who are some other individual players that we might keep an eye on out there, Labib?
I think probably a better player is number 6, Adnan Osman. You'll see every time he comes on, they're probably just using him on attack, and he's their main strike player. One of the main strike player. There's Ramesh Didix, we mentioned, Nick Aitken as well. Stuart Black, a great team player, is on the link there, making the touch, and he'll pull. There we go. That's Stuart Black. He also comes to the system. He played the 2009 Youth World Cup. With the action there, getting some go for it, and they'll try to recycle some nice plays onto the field.
Now, how many teams have you brought with you from South Africa for this tournament, Labib?
We've brought 7. We brought 7. 7 teams to the tournament. 6 came to the Youth World Cup, but we brought 7 to the tournament, which was all the open team grades. Over 27 women, over 30s, yeah, and over 45. There's Adnan Osman, and he'll have a go.
And nice. Hey, hot stepper. Here comes the hot stepper. You talk about him earlier on. A nice left foot step.
Lovely by Nani straight terug. Yeah, he really moved the defence there.
Yeah, fantastic play. So you've brought 7 teams. As you know, I've had a bit of history with the South African teams.
No, I'd like to take the opportunity to inform the listeners or readers about your magnificent input in our development. You were there right at the teething stages at 95 World Cup as well as 2003 Japan, and we can only thank you, Adam, for your involvement in South Africa, and part of this is when I see them play, it's part of you.
Oh, it was an absolute pleasure to be involved. But that 95 World Cup in Hawaii, the boys came over and never played.
What were our goals there?
Never played 6 touches before. They used to that one-touch culture we talked about. But they were there to win the World Cup, the boys, and they had a baptism of fire. But it's awesome to see the development that's taken place as we see Fiji there having a crack at the defensive line of the South African team, but not able to get across on that occasion. You've certainly come a long way as a nation on the touch football field, and we're looking forward to some great play from all of your South African teams.
Thanks,
you yourself are playing in the men's 45s, and 2 of those players were from that 95 World Cup. So let's hope that they've learned a little bit since then.
They've learned a lot, and we obviously developing and building annually. Especially on our junior structures, like we've moved down to under 15 divisions in our nationals, having 60 teams at junior nationals, and we've since last year we're fiddling around with under 13 and 11.
That's awesome. You see another enterprising play from the South Africans, a flick over the top of their head, but again the referees call that one forward. Some nice skills demonstrated here, silky skills of the South Africans. I love watching the way they play. and of course the Fijians, all with that rugby background as well. So
yeah, the sevens background.
Yeah, some beautiful skills on display here for touch football at the World Cup. But Labib, your men's and women's opens, how are they travelling in the tournament so far?
They've been going well. Obviously, coaches always, you can never, there's never a perfect game for the coach. The men's opens currently undefeated for after 2 days of just and they had a good game yesterday against Samoa, which is a very good outfit. But they managed to pull that one through. Obviously, with the two-pool system, it brings a bit of difference because it's like basically pool of death. So they have to win those games in order to come one or two. But they've done well. The women's they had one loss yesterday against Japan, which put them under a bit of pressure. But hopefully they bounce back and do what they need to do. Our mixed team struggled on day one, but they put 2 good wins yesterday, and hopefully today they can do the same. There's another great dive in. I can't really see from this distance.
Yeah, another left foot step there and the quick dive. So Labib, thanks very much for joining us in commentary. It's been a pleasure having you
thanks
here.
Thanks a lot, Adam, and good luck for the rest of the tournament. It's been fantastic. Venue's great, and thanks for the organisation and for you guys.
Yeah, likewise. Good luck to you and the rest of your contingent as you make your way through the championships.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.
So we return back to action, and we really thank our special guest coming in to have a chat to us during this match. It's one of the great aspects of the World Cup, just to hear the backstories of some of our nations, what it takes to get here and how they're going through the tournament. That was a really good chat, Adam.
Yeah, well, Labib has had a massive impact on the game in South Africa. As you heard from the accent, he's one of the coloured players from the Eastern Cape, so down in the lower part of South Africa. He's learned a lot of touch and developed the game from both New Zealand and Australia, and has been one of the real driving forces for touch football in South Africa. So it was great to have Labib join us here today, Scotty.
But the South Africans, well, they've looked really impressive in this match, and they're still looking to shift the ball. It's good hands. They hold on to it in the corner. But the score is 5-0 in this match, and from the opening tap-off, they've really looked impressive.
Yeah, they've come here to do a job, the South Africans. They really see themselves, they want to take home the bronze medal in most divisions. They are realistic to think that the Australians and the Kiwis are probably top of them at the moment, but they are really pushing hard to knock off the big two, as are a lot of the other countries. I guess they see their main opposition in most divisions to be England or Japan, as we heard. And Fiji get across the line to open their account. So that was another beautiful dive under the despairing touch of the South Africans, who claimed it, but the referee was on the spot and said, "You might have got him, son, but the ball was down first."
Yeah, the ball was well and truly down, and that was good speed coming onto the ball. Nice right foot step as well. Gets down low, and opening touchdown for Fiji. So good on the Fijians. And they'd be right. They've been on the back foot for the majority of the match, but they come down the other end of the field and they get their first touchdown.
If there's anything we know about the Fijians, it's that they have absolutely great spirit. These boys have been in the system in Fiji for quite a while. There's a little bit of international experience in this team as well. And they have that rugby background that so do the South Africans have. So the skills that they have displayed have been fantastic. The weather probably suits them a little bit, but the speed here of the South African team has really put them early on the back foot.
They haven't taken the foot off the accelerator for the whole first half. As we do get down, we're under 30 seconds to go, but they're still running here. They go that short ball option, and it's worked for them on a number of occasions. It works for them here again. Good to see. We've actually made comment on that quite a few times. A lot of teams love to throw that big long bomb, but it's just that short link ball that works more often than not.
Yeah, it's about making those choices, Scotty. We've talked about it on that occasion. The man with the ball was good enough to have a look, size up his options, and he took the best one on that occasion. You hear the hooter go in the background, so that is half time. We'll go back to Scotty for a score rundown, but South Africa comfortably lead this match over Fiji.
Yeah, 6-1 is the score on the scoreboard here in this men's 30s game. We're out on field 6, South Africa. They're looking comfortable at the moment. We'll be back with your second half in the men's 30s very shortly.
One, two, three, take it!
Good, Nick. Use that line up on defense. Make line looking forward. They'll follow you.
Welcome back to Putrajaya. Field 6 in the men's 30s. It's Fiji and South Africa. South Africa in real control of this match. It's 6-1 on your scoreboard currently, as the hooter is about to sound in the background to get the second half underway, and it is Fiji that have the tap off. They're running from right to left on your screens. This is a good start here from Fiji. Oh, I think we might have just been looking to switch in there. And they're just out on the right-hand side of the field. And they look to bring it back into the middle now. They dish the ball off. They've got sweepers coming around the back. But the ball's hit the deck. What's the referee going to say here? I think it's just going to get the boys to replay the ball.
Yeah, the referees have been pretty lenient on that one, Scotty. I guess back home in Australia, we would have seen that one ball away 9 times out of 10, but the referee saying that one just might have been kicked away. or just loss of possession. So we'll play on as we see South Africa bring it straight back into the attack. Very direct play right up through the middle there. Nice drives. The transitional speed from the South Africans has been impressive right throughout the tournament. In this match specifically, really getting in the face of the Fijians, pushing them back in defence. It's a handy attacking position here. They've been dangerous this far out. There's a nice little right foot. Doesn't get the ball away in time. There's the final touch for the Fijians. Just we mentioned it before the game about the sad passing of the men's opens coach from Fiji. He may have only been coaching the one team, but he's had a massive impact on the game in Fiji, and we wish all of the Fijians and their supporters our sincere condolences at the passing of Mr. Jack Sundet, who was had a massive influence on the game in Fiji. So to family and friends of Mr. Sundet, we wish you our sincere condolences as we see the Fijian boys go on the attack. Ball flicked back over the top, gets away on that occasion, but that's the flair that they're known for in the Fiji Rugby 7 circuit. Brought to you here in Putrajaya.
Yeah, that's what we love to see every time they step onto the field, the Fijians. You know, you'll get a little something special, and almost came off for them there. It was floated up quite nicely. Almost gave him enough time to run onto the ball as the Fijian side. They get the ball back here.
Yeah, little hand over there. The South Africans wouldn't be happy about that. That's a cheap turnover. You never want to give them away, especially coming off your own line. Handy field position here for the Fijians. So let's see what they can bring. Slowing the play down, trying to draw the defenders out. South Africa just taking control in defence here a little bit. No real pressure on the attacking, or from the attacking team here as we see the ball moved out to the right. The South Africa line resettles and regroups. And the Fijians pull back out once again to try and draw the right defender up off the line. We can see the young man there. 6 more touches, that one knocked down in flight.
Yeah, just getting the hands on the football there. Ramiz Diedericks. So 6 more for the Fijian side. He did get a touchdown on the board before the halftime break. See if they can get their second. They're down by 5 at the moment.
He's very willing, young Ramiz Diedericks, the number 4 for South Africa. He's only a little man, but he's very busy up out of the line there, getting in between like a little halfback in rugby, always sniping around the boots of the big man and putting lots of pressure on the Fijians.
Yeah, it's a sloppy roll ball there, unfortunately, so they turn the ball over. Now, South Africa will come out of their end. This has been one of the highlights of their game so far in the match, as a penalty here is given to them. But their ruck speed and transition coming out of their end of the field has been really impressive.
Yeah, it certainly has, and we see Aiken there. We talked about him earlier on, Nick Aiken with the white visor. That's one of his traits. He loves to play in a visor. As we see, he sweeps around, but they go back the other way. So now they have a full back line, I guess, aligned out pretty deep. Lots of movement being called back inside. Aiken acting half. He's quick. Right footstep. Nice long ball. There's a man in the corner diving. Referees are on the spot. They'll have a little conference. Did he get the ball down in time? I'll say he did. The referee says he did. So that's another touchdown. Beautiful hands from that man, Aiken, to find the man out wide. And we see the diving touchdown by Zahia Hyland scoring for the South Africans.
Yeah, it was a really good effort from Neil Singh to try to make that touch in the corner. It was a lot closer than what I think it might have been, but the ball was down on the ground first, no question about that. And another touchdown there to South Africa. 7-1 is the score.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that, but they won't take the foot off the pedal. And as we can see here, Fiji certainly aren't resting on their laurels either. They want to bring the game to the South Africans. It's a fairly tightly contested division, this one. And they'll be really having a crack. Both of these teams looking for those medals and putting pressure on the Aussies. We see an intercept taken off the line. Can he go the length? Great cover coming across. Good speed for the Fijians, but there's support player now. The Fijian defender turns around and recovers. That's an awesome chase. Saverio Bete Sagari there for the Fijians. Awesome chase. We see now the ball spread out to the right. There's Aiken with his own speed. And the South Africans too strong, too fast, too many of them on that occasion. The Fijian defence, that was awesome, but they just weren't able to recover in time to get all the way back over to the other side of the field.
Oh, we just got to make mention of the speed and the chase there from Bede Sagari to keep off the initial intercept taker there, and they managed to get the ball away. He still turned around and chased him down with quite ease as well, but unfortunately they just couldn't recover. As soon as they rolled the ball, they had massive overlap back on the right-hand side. They shifted it out there, and it was an easy stroll over try in the end.
And they probably found the one man they didn't want to have the ball in their hand in Aiken. He is the speed man, or one of the speed men for the South Africans, but that defence was impressive from Bete Sagari. That'll be one to remember.
Yeah, when you're down by a few as well, hot conditions.
G'day on the attack now, Scotty. Sorry to interrupt.
No, yeah, I was just going to say, when it's hot conditions and everything like that, he had every right just to let him stroll away down the end of the field, didn't he? But that just shows the commitment, the pride in the jersey. And I think he probably knew he had speed in the tank, so he's just wound up the cogs and chased it down. It was a great effort.
Yeah, back over the halfway line now, but loss of possession there. Yeah, that was just a sloppy roll ball. A little bit of that starting to creep in again. The temperature heating up here. We're approaching 11 o'clock, and that is the time that we've sort of factored in for the hot weather policy. We are right on the limit at the moment. Still playing 20-minute halves, but if temperature creeps up around, well, probably 1 or 2 degrees more now, we'll probably look at going into the quarter breaks where we have a drink after 10 minutes. So yeah, we're always monitoring the weather conditions over here. We're taking into account, obviously, the high humidity, and at this stage, the guys out here are running on a pretty low tank.
Fiji, they're attacking the line again here, but the speed of their play has just been taken out a little bit. This might be the 5th touch. Yeah, it was. So you could just see the referee put his hand up in the air. So they lost their way a little bit, Fiji, but South Africa, they're straight back onto the attack.
Yeah, their transition from defence into attack has been impressive, the South Africans, and we see them right up to the halfway line again after only 2 touches. So there's Aiken in the middle with the ball once again. Searching left, goes back to the right now. They'll resettle, regroup. We see lots of ball movement from the South Africans, and that is certainly one aspect of their play that they are hoping to assert their dominance with.
Back on the attack here. They come through the middle of the ruck. There's a hand there from the Fijians. And 6 more touches, so alarm bells here for Fiji.
There certainly are. The alarm bells are ringing. You can see lots of communication out there. That's one aspect of this game which is very, very important. There's that quick ball off the ground. Very quick delivery from Garrick Fall. The little number 8 with the white visor on there at acting half again. He hands off to Adnan Osman, who we heard Labib say has come through the ranks. So a lot of experience. There's a quick roll ball. Sweeper coming around. Goes back the other way. Little reverse pass again. Looping pass on that occasion. Playing it nice and tight. They probably need to look a bit wider. That's where they've had success.
Yeah, look out for Osman here with the ball. Fancy footwork. Oh, and they just turn it back on the inside and throw it away. What a jinx Osman there.
Yeah, we talked about the importance of communication in defence, but it's also important in attack. He wasn't even looking.
Yeah, really good point there. It is one aspect that a lot of coaches put emphasis on, is the communication in defence, but you're 100% right. You need to be talking to your players in attack to know what sort of players or where you need your support. As Fiji, they come down this short side, they come against the grain, they go off the right foot, and look at the intensity of the South Africans. They make the touch, they grab the ball, and they're straight back on the attack down their right-hand side.
Diving defender coming across in cover, makes the touch too. 2 men there off their feet. That's great defence from the Fijians, and they needed to. He was away, the big man from South Africa. All the way back over the other side of the field now. Sweeping around, wrapping play. Plenty of movement off the ball for the South Africans, always putting the defensive minds in 2 places at once. Acting half goes, searches for the right man. There's a nice hole, opens up as the defender spins off on the dummy throw to the winger and opens a hole up in the link position for another South African touchdown, this time to Stuart Black, who has also come through the development programs that have been put in place in South Africa through the juniors.
Yeah, it was really nice movement across the park from South Africa. It started way back when they grabbed the ball. They showed their intensity. They shifted to the right-hand side, made a nice little break, and they shifted it all the way back to the left. So they're constantly asking questions of the Fijian defence. And in this heat, and these conditions, that's always going to produce a little bit of fatigue from your opposition, and the Fijians just couldn't recover on that set.
Yeah, the South Africans are used to hot conditions, but it's a humidity over here that I didn't know how they'd be able to handle. It's a much drier heat over there in South Africa. but they seem to be handling it okay at the moment. The Fijians, I thought they would have been more attuned to it, but obviously the pressure put on them by this fairly handy South African team is starting to tell.
So we got another 6 touches here, Fiji. And can they get their second? Just the one on the board at the moment. 9-1 on the scoreboard.
There's little Ramis Dietrichs once again. They're coming up off the line. You can see him. He's busy. He's like a little terrier, snapping at the heels, and he claps his hands as he earns a turnover for his team. Good defensive pressure from the touch box.
Yeah, he rolled the ball there, Ads, without being touched. There really wasn't a defender anywhere near him, to be fair, so just got a little bit disjointed, lost their way, and that results in South Africa getting the ball back, and they've also got a penalty here as well.
There's Dietrichs taking the tap, coming forward now. Up over the halfway line, good direct play, gets the ball down quickly, but might have lost control in that roll ball, and he's overstepped the mark. So it might have been a quick play of the ball, but it wasn't in the right spot. The referee right on top of it, and a penalty now to the Fijians right on halfway. So some top referees out here too, I see. I think that's Dave Baggio out there that blew that penalty. He has long been Australia's number 1 at least, and has been in the world's top 2 or 3 referees. So it's great to have him refereeing across all divisions here, and a testimony of the calibre of this match here in the men's 35s.
It's also good. We've made mention of obviously the development that some of the other countries here at the World Cup have done, but it's got to be made mention of the development of their referees. All of the countries have brought referee representatives of their own, and this is not only a great opportunity for the players to represent their country, but it's a good result as Fiji got one there. Sorry, I was just talking and got a little bit distracted, but yeah, just making mention of the referees that are out here as well, coming from all across the world.
Yeah, nice touchdown from the Fijians there, really putting pressure on the defence. Nice straight hole running, that's all it takes at times, hey? You hit the right spot, and the player on the inside was good enough to get the ball away. Just, Scotty, on the referees, there's over 120 referees at this tournament. That's an amazing amount of officials and incredible logistics to organise that. All of the teams are housed in massive marquees, fully air-conditioned, but the referee's tent is impressive.
It's the Taj Mahal. It's the biggest thing I've ever seen. I could have had my wedding in that.
Fully air-conditioned. The eating room alone, with a fully stocked food supply. As you can imagine, they need plenty of fuel in these conditions. Lots of food and drinks available for fuel and rehydration, and it is massive. As you said, you could stage a wedding. Probably not for Posh and Bex, but yours and mine we'd get away with.
Absolutely. The important aspect, I suppose, it goes for the players and the referees as well. When they usually have just a couple of games off in between breaks, it's quite difficult to actually fuel up and eat. You're outside of your normal food cycle. And the
He's
referees...
Aiken again. That was just individual brilliance there. He sized up the opportunity, took on one of the bigger bodies in the defensive line, just went off his right foot, created a little bit of space, and his speed was able to get him over the line. He is going to be one of the key players for the South African men's 30s as they make their way through this division. There are no New Zealanders in this division, so it is a real opportunity for one of these other countries to take out the plate. They're cracking their whips, heading for Australia. And at the moment, they're doing a great job, these South African boys.
Oh, it's exciting. It's going to make really good watching as we get to the back end stages of the men's 30s division. And those semi-finals come up, and the playoff to get into those semi-final matches. It's going to be exciting. But anything can happen too. It's no given that the Australians will just roll through to the final and take the trophy either. So yeah, it's going to be a division to watch as we get to the back end stages of this men's 30s division at the World Cup.
Well, in the 2003 World Cup, the South African men's 30s, there are none of those players in this division, but the South African men's 30s actually drew with Australia 4-all. Wow. So they were putting pressure on a couple of years ago. They didn't quite have the results go their way the last couple of years, but in this particular World Cup year, they look to have the goods. So let's see what happens as we make our way through this tournament. But at the moment, they are in dominance over this Fijian outfit.
Here they go again. They've still got plenty of running. They're not winding down the clock at this stage, South Africa. And as mentioned, I suppose when it's coming down to crunching the numbers, they're probably looking for every touchdown that they can get, and the referee's just going to pull this one up. It would have been just trying to look for the signal here from the ref.
Yeah, nice defence there too from Pawasa Rakiavalu. He's working hard, throwing himself around, shut that one down there, so a change over possession to the South African team. The Fijians working hard off their own line, but you can see the speed of play, the difference between the Fijian outfit and the touch box from South Africa. There's a lot of difference. There's certainly more direct, more speed play from the South African boys.
The Fiji, they're really doing it tough in this set. And that's going to be the 6th touch. A little bit of a collision between the two players. He's trying to look for a bit of a grabbing penalty. Just got a little bit clunky in there.
Yeah, looked like he was saying that he was elbowed out of the way, but referee didn't want a bar of it. And the play resumes with South Africa now already up over the halfway line. Extra man out wide, gets the ball away. No touch made from the covering defender. Ball coming all the way back across now. But the referee's find an infringement and a penalty blown in favour of the Fijians. So let's hope that they can get a little bit deeper into the backfield of the South African outfit here as they go to the halfway line. The referee just having a bit of a chat. Go back and we'll play the ball on that occasion. So it was just a loss of possession, not a penalty tap. Fiji were lucky there. They could have turned that ball over.
Yeah, the old letter of the law, unfortunately, if you take a tap instead of a roll, sometimes that's a change of possession, but I think the referees probably assessed the situation and the flow of this game nicely and let the Fijian boys take the roll again. And they hold on to the footy and they're trying to get out of their end, but they don't. They turn it over.
Oh, and then a penalty blown, so Fiji let off the hook there. A drop ball from the acting half. Very sloppy play. A little bit of confusion around the ruck area there, but as we said, they were lucky to get off with that one. The South African boys up too quickly. The referees blow the penalty.
So Fiji just struggling. You can see the pace has really come out of the game. They're just trying to look to promote the football to get themselves forward. And they're shifting across the line again here now. Can they muster up a little something? They're trying to put the afterburners on now. They switch in. Touches made. No, it's play on. They link up. They're still going here, Fiji. Now the referee's got to pull them back here. Might have been a late pass, I would say.
Yeah, as we watched their back play, you could see the referee circling around behind. We knew what was coming. The players didn't. They tried to play on. Thought they were going to get a crack there, but the referees blow it up. And we see the South Africans come back. And there, we talked about it, the change of speed. The South Africans already up to halfway after only 2 touches. A lot more speed in the transition. There's another nice quick dump and a release from half. A lot of ball movement, already 2 plays wide from the initial roll ball. And they're in a good attacking position here. They've asked for the touch count. They've been given the count, so they know how many they have left. Little ball back inside. Here goes, last touch called.
So see if they can create something out of nothing, a little bit of footwork. They'll just shut that one down.
He gave himself up there, looked for his support player, but he'd gone off for a sub.
And gone.
Yeah, ran out of legs and said, I need a rest, get me out of here. But unfortunately left his mate stranded, who just gave himself up.
I know.
Another drop ball.
It actually looked like they increased their intensity through that rucking motion there. They were going a little bit more direct, but they turned the ball over. More pressure here.
Let's see who it is working around the ball. You can see the 2-man effort there. Little roll ball and a quick step out to the left-hand side. So Stewie Black, the number 11, he'll be dangerous around the acting half here. He's the man with the ball now. Let's see what he does. He'll go for the quick dump, steps out to his left, comes back. There's the ball inside. Black not able to get across the stripe. That was great defence from the Fijians. Shut it down on that occasion. I believe that was Joseph Delai. He really needed to get his big body off the ground and shut it down for the Fijian outfit. Here's Black again. Steps out once again. Big turnaround pass back out of the open side. The referee says that was a touch. A nice defence from the Fijians.
Yeah. Huda goes in the background, but yeah, great back-to-back efforts there in defence, but wasn't enough, unfortunately, on the day for Fiji. South Africa far too strong, and they are looking very good as we start to get down to the critical end of this men's 30s tournament at the World Cup. South Africa, too strong. They win that one and 10 touchdowns to 2 over Fiji. We're going to head back to field 1 for the 11:20 time slot. That's local time here in Malaysia. We revert back to the men's open division, and we're going to have South Africa back on the field again, and they'll be taking on Germany. Well, welcome back to Putrajaya here. We're back on field 1 and mixed open action. It's South Africa taking on Germany, and I've got a special guest in the commentary box. Michael King, the General Manager of Touch Football New Zealand, joins me. Michael, good to see you, mate.
Thank you for having me. Looking forward to seeing how Germany go this morning in this game.
Yeah, they've had a bit of a tough start, unfortunately, Germany. They haven't got a win on the board as of yet, but they have come up against some tough opposition. South Africa, on the other hand, they have had 2 wins and 2 losses, so a little bit inconsistent themselves. They'll be looking to get another win on the board in this match. But Germany coming out of their end of the field, they're doing not too bad here. We can hear the South Africans counting each touch count from the sub-box, but they're driving in nicely here, the Germans. This is a little bit... And probably they've almost created the overlap here. Oh, diving effort. They're going to get a penalty as well there, Michael. That was a really good set there from the German side.
Yeah, look, it actually just looked like they were just, coming through the field and not really planning on anything. But, the game is all about anything happens at any time. So, well done, Germany. They've got a new 6 here. So let's see what they can come up with.
Yeah, great start from the German side. They're showing their intentions. They're rolling within the 5, steaming onto the ball, pops up, does a good job to hold on to that one.
Nice little 32. 32 by the German players. Here we go, ball back in the middle. Let's see, they've got their girl up at the point. Nice little 32 play. She goes low.
Yeah, that's Colmheim. Got to keep an eye on her in this match, Michael. I did call another German mixed open match earlier on, and she plays in the middle for pretty much the majority of the game, and a lot of her the attack of the German sides comes from her. She's a great player and just couldn't execute that final pass. But still, really positive signs being shown here from the Germans.
Yeah, they're plugging that left-hand corner, right? They obviously see something in there where there is possibly an opening down on their left side. Here we go. We've got South Africa coming through the field into their subbing box area.
Yeah, so first real decent possession here for South Africa. Let's see how they attack into the German defensive line. It's nice transition coming out of the substitution box for them. There's just space available to them, and they take it. And that was Van der Net getting the opening touchdown for the South Africans, but they transitioned out of their end of the field really nicely there.
So how have South Africa been going so far to date, Scott? What
so 2 wins and 2 losses for the South African side. So they're sitting about mid-pack. And the mixed open division heavily contested this year at the World Cup. 2 pools. I think there's about 22 odd teams in each. So the interesting factor is now we're in the midpoint of the mixed open division. They started on day 1. They've still got another couple of days to go before they even look at the playoff situation, but a lot of games coming up. And as you may have heard over the PA in the just before we started this match, the heat rule has been enforced, so we will be going into quarters as of this match as well. So 10-minute quarters coming up as a result, so it's going to be another tough match.
So for those who sort of just popped in here on the live stream, we've gone to quarters. What's the protocols around that? Why is that?
Yeah, there's a heat policy in place, so once the temperature reaches a certain point, I'm not exactly 100% sure what the temperature is. Obviously, player welfare and for the referees as well, we can't forget to mention them, comes at the forefront. So once they reach that certain point, and the tournament staff here will monitor that throughout the day, the heat enforcement rule gets put in place as the first precautionary measure, which is to reduce the game to, well, it's not reducing the game, but implementing quarters, 10-minute quarters, and there's going to be a 2-minute drinks break in between those quarters as well.
Fantastic. Well done the event organisers for putting player welfare at the top of the list here. Here we go. Germany making it to the far side of their subbing box. Oh, nice firm touch going on.
Geez, they're running into the line is impressive, isn't it?
Ball back in the middle. She's calling her in. Let's see what Germany can set up on the 5 here. Just getting themselves organised. Nice push up by the point. Great.
Picked off, and he's got to go the full distance. There is a chase in play. He's heading towards that far right-hand corner, but they pull up stumps, and that's another touchdown there.
I'm not quite sure if it's the heat wave. For a split second, I thought I was watching 100 metres at the Olympics. But
how quick was it? I think the interceptor, I think it was number 12 there, Vloon, he might have thought that he was Usain Bolt. I used to think that when I was playing as well. I think I was going a lot quicker. Then I watched myself on video one time and I was horrified.
Good. Big fella got off the ground to pick that one up. So here we go. Let's see if Germany can do this time. They're making good yardage through the field. Nice and direct. Here they go. They got a sweet play coming. Just picked up, gone back. Nice chop on the hole. Good defense on the line by the by the South African link, female. Great comms going on. You can hear it from this stage. Here we go, their playmaker calling the shots here.
Here's Colmheim again, looking to connect. It goes the inside ball. It's been picked off again, but there was simultaneous contact there. Lucky that was taken as well. Sate, he might have been down the other end trying to replicate what we just saw previously.
Just a little follow play off that quickie. An interesting 21 peel there. Here we go. Now the South Africans have got a fresh pair of legs on the field as they start to wrap around. Oh, referee spots something there.
Yeah, they're going to get pulled back for the over the mark there. Would have been a little bit harsh. Looked like it was all in one motion, but there was definitely a distance between where the touch was made and where the ball was rolled. And they call play on here. But Germany, they've done a really good job getting out of their end of the field. They head over towards their substitution box now. They're going to make some changes. A nice defensive pressure from the South Africans. It's a real time, sorry to cut you off there, Michael, when the defensive side can turn the screws when they're making changes, push the defence up and try to cut the space down.
Exactly. And here we go. Let's see what Germany can come up this time. Very quick turnover ball.
Look at this, straight back on to the attack. They're in all sorts of trouble here. Germany now in this set. They managed to reset their defensive line a little bit, but subs coming on and flowing nicely for South Africa.
Great yardage play through the field by South Africa. 2 to 3 touches and they're well in striking distance. Here we go.
They look to go short side. Beautiful left foot again.
Yeah.
That was pretty to watch. Individual brilliance there. They came down the short side, 2 left foot steps, and that'll be one for the highlight reel.
There we go. Just like that. It's good night, nurse.
You got footwork like that, mate, when you play?
Yeah, well, about, I think 30 kgs ago, I might have had something like that.
The glory days, unfortunately, behind us.
It's all through the mic. That's where we're going forward.
So South Africa have extended the lead. There's a flat ball there, but they're still looking to play expansive. They're steaming onto the ball. They're within the 5. Nice connection pass. The referee, I think, is happy that the ball's gone down first. That's a really good response from Germany. They're protesting a little bit at South Africa, but that's a great try, and they get their first one on the board for this match.
One thing the German players are doing are hitting the 21 line, so in between the winger and link, and always looking back for that follow play. They've done it on both sides. This time it's come off for them. I love the dive at the end. Fantastic.
Great work. And South Africa, look at that. Off the tap off, they make 10 easy metres. So they're going direct through the middle of the German defence at the moment, still focused on that centre third. They take their time now. They're encroaching on the 5 metre zone. Switching, ball movement's really nice from South Africa.
With a peel coming on. They've gone back to the short side. Referee calls out a forward pass. The South African winger looks at the referee in dismay.
Not happy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Sharon Elizabeth Long did a good job to grab that one in and put it down, but all to no avail as Germany now, they turn the ball over. And you can really see the intensity from South Africa, even streaming towards the substitution box. They are sprinting off to get their new players back onto the field. Super impressive start here for South Africa.
There we go. There's the runaway try scorers dummy half. Another 32 peel coming up. They've gone to long. Went low. Referee says the ball was down. Great try. Nice 32 peel play. Looking wide. The outside middle went off on the peel play. And they went low. Well done. South Africa certainly got a lot of strike options on the line there.
Yeah, absolutely. Try scorer Divan Duplessis streaming onto the ball. That's number 4 for the South Africans. So that's going to be our quarter time break. The heat rule in force as of this time slot. So we'll take the opportunity to take a short break as well. We'll be back with the second quarter very shortly.
So we're back here. So the thing to just know about the 10-minute quarters is that where the players last stopped is where the play for the next quarter begins. So it's not starting at halfway. And so here we go, South Africa coming out of their 5. Bit impressed with their yardage game. They're getting to their box and touch counts 2. Now got a new set of legs. Went great line. Good yardage play, and here we go. Ball back in the centre. Good hands. Really nice play in terms of the ball. Oh, found the gap. No. Referee calls that as a touch. So the other really good thing about the quarter play is that our referees also have an opportunity to make sure that they get hydrated and they're not left out there stranded. So South Africa finding the gap on that one. Just a loose arm going out by the German defender, but was not able to pull that player in.
Yeah, it's a nice bit of individual work there from Molly. Just got in the outside of the defender, as Michael explained. So number 5 on the board for South Africa. We made mention as well, just during that quarter time break, they're still keen as beans as South Africans. Even before the hooter had gone to get back on the field, they're ready to stream back out there. So
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go, coach.
Yeah, it seems like they might have circled this one as a crucial match for them to win. They definitely want to go into the next round. 3 wins and 2 losses on the board. It's going to put them about mid-pack in the pool. So they've got their eyes on some finals games, I think, later on the road, the South Africans.
But playing well, the South African team. There's not a lot of errors in their game. Coming through the field really well, setting themselves up in the middle. Now we've got the pull. We've got a 33 peel going on here. He's looking to go low. The male link just picked him up. No, what did he call there?
Yeah, touch and pass the referee had called, so must have been on the previous play. And if that wasn't called from the ref, it was going to be another touchdown. Oh, I was almost going to say good hands. No, it's taken a deflection from South Africa, so 6 more touches here to Germany.
Nice bit of refereeing by the German player.
Now they've gone over the mark, unfortunately. Look at this, straight on the mark, and they're tapping. They're back on the attack.
Referees are really watching that area there, making sure that they plant the ball and the player is stepping forward, not stepping back on the ball. So here we go again.
Yeah, touch made there, so the try scorer Maleev. Last try scorer for South Africa. He dishes the ball. He had to come back on that previous play and roll it on the mark. Oh, stuck underneath. Beautiful ball as well. Well, just somehow made her way through the German defence, and that's a nice ball as well, and finished. We can see the 2 German players just having a little bit of a chat to each other. I think it was that yours? Was that mine?
Yeah, look, it's I think, there was some confusion going on. Look, in the South African link who went through that hole, she says, Coach, I'm staying on. I'm going back to D this one up. I've got 2 more tries to assist. I think that's what she's thinking. So
absolutely.
Let's see. Here we go again. Just a bit slower this time in this quarter from Germany. They were coming through the field nice and direct. Here we go. Let's see what they can do this time.
Yeah, they were all guns blazing in that first quarter, and the sting's been taken out of their attack a little bit in the second. But here's that danger player again. She's just taking on the defence. I heard the referee saying the players are off. They must have made the line back again. But Colmheim, the number 2, she's going to roll the ball. See if she can create something. Out of nothing, dishes the ball. They're still throwing it around. It's still in hand. Germany, they take the touch now and change over possession to South Africa. They're coming out of their end of the field.
South Africa, I really like, they just seem calm as they come through here and make their way to the subbing box. They've just got a really nice, simple game plan.
Yeah, a little bit of a collision there. Players down on the ground. They've recovered now. There's a little bit of space for the South Africans on the right-hand side. They head that way now. Good contact in the roll ball. They look to go short. They've got overlap. They had plenty of options available to them. They hold the ball in the end, and it all opens up, and another touchdown there for South Africa.
Nice little 33 peel off there, and just looking for options. ball up in front of them, seeing if the shut's coming. No shut, player just goes straight through the line. Very simple touch shown by the South African open mix squad, which I'm really loving. It's great to see just the really calmness as they come through the field.
Talk us through that 33 peel manoeuvre that they've been using. You've made mention of it a few times. South Africa are running that quite regularly.
Yeah, so if we're watching the German players at the moment, they've got the 3 and 3, so we call it the middle players, where when one of the threes will plant the ball, the other 3 will become the dummy half, and the link comes around the back. So we're calling it it's a bit like a sweep play, but they use it as a peel, which makes the defender have to choose whether they come and shut it or not.
So back to the mark, South Africa go, and it just gives them a couple of extra seconds to realign as the substitutions come onto the field. They shift the ball back in field. Nice little dummy play there. They take on the outside. Nice little turn of foot and speed work shown there. That was John Henry Payne. Another touchdown, but nice little shift. They're out on the right. Yeah. They send it back over to the left and they go back on the attack.
I really like South Africa's confidence to hold the ball and just look to play what's in front of them. Give it a bit of air. Not be committed to those early touches and just go through the motion. So they're playing with a lot of heads up, a lot of smarts.
So, Michael, you're also the general manager of Touch New Zealand, mates. Talk us through how the New Zealand sides have been going at the World Cup so far in 2019.
Yeah, we've had good preparation leading up to this World Cup, and if anyone's been down in New Zealand, it's not one of the hottest places on the planet. So
definitely not. I went there in the summertime once, and I just couldn't get my head around it.
So our players have been training with sweatshirts and jackets on during the summer period, just to sort of acclimatise before coming across the KL. But yeah, we've had a good couple of days. We've had some early hit-outs against the current world champions, which we're really like. Been a few close games, but it's all good learning. You know, this is about a tournament here. This is not a one-off play, so I'm comfortable with where the New Zealand teams are at.
Oh, it's really good. Yeah, it's a good insight to some of the preparations that some of the teams have had to try to acclimatise. We're talking with some of the European sides that have been taking advantage of some heat chambers for some of their preparation as well. But we've made mention that it's an amateur sport. Unfortunately, these things aren't supplied to some of our athletes, and they actually have to pay. So it just shows the dedication that they have. This might open up here for Germany. Yeah, the dedication and the preparation that's required for these athletes to come and represent their country in a foreign country overseas.
Yeah, and what I've really liked, and this is, we're no different to a lot of other countries, is just the different backgrounds that people come from who play this sport. So we've been in New Zealand, we've been fortunate to have some people who work in high performance areas who've got access to heat chambers. So we've had a couple of our regions been involved in training, so it's been great for them. Here we go, nice through the field run by the South Africans.
Yeah, they're not letting up. It's been a couple more touchdowns as well, but they're starting to streak away. A lot of speed across the park for South Africa as well. So really potent attacking side. They're looking dangerous in the mixed open, and they just send that one down, unfortunately. And Van der Net turning that one over. There hasn't been too many errors in the South African match so far.
No, it's one of the things that I have been impressed about their game to date. It's their yardage through the field has been really nice, and they've been able to get big space, handling, both short and long passes have been really good. And I really like how the South African links and wingers are coming through. Ball in two hands, heads up. It's good to see.
This is nice ball movement here from Germany. They're still throwing it around, and they just turn it over, coming into the 5 metre zone. So South Africa now, look at this, another dummy, an extra 10 or so metres. Throw a nice little block play out the back Again, every carry seems to be getting about 10 or so metres up the field, and they might be trying to get just one more touchdown before the hooter, but the hooter is going in the background. It still could happen. Oh, right
Oh,
foot
here we
step,
go.
draw and pass, and a timing
and the
finish
dive.
as well. Well, I was a little bit nervous at the end. Thought she might have taken her time, but they get one on the hooter. Sharon Elizabeth Long finishes off in the corner, but great footwork there from South Africa.
Great dive there at the end. I think she might have winded herself on that one.
So we go into the halftime break. South Africa are right in control of this mixed open match. Let's see if the Germans can come back and get another couple of touchdowns in the second half. And we are back out on field one. The hooter goes in the background. Germany get us underway. They have the tap to start the second half.
So let's see what the how the coach's half-time talk went on. Oh,
They had space out there, Michael, if he held on to that ball.
certainly Coach Killer that one, coming in on the line and drops the ball.
And they're straight back on the attack here.
Game.
It's the second touch and they're already over the halfway line.
South Africa just continuing from their first half. Nice yardage through the field. Here they go. Just across halfway. Setting up a strike. Let's see what they can come up here. They've certainly got some dancing feet out there. Oh,
Oh, and still play on to call. Yeah, the dancing feet. Look at this transition. They were just over on the left-hand side, but fifth touch, so they managed to shut it down, Germany. Good job.
it's good defence by the Germans this time. Here they go. Making their way to their subbing box. Done their 2 sets and they're out of here.
That's no.
Ooh.
Yeah,
It's a risky one.
It looked like a nice ball out of the hands, actually. It was a nice low spiral, but yeah, probably didn't need to be thrown. It was juggled, but they held onto it. And they're crabbing across the field. Nice switch in now. Still running.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a real dangerous player.
She saw the gap there and player was coming through but just wasn't able to lose her player. And the South Africans again. Touch count 2 and they're over halfway.
And they shift now
There we
to
go.
their subs on the field and their speedman as well. Nice drive out to the left-hand side. Oh, yeah, the ball just dipped down. I think he knew as soon as he threw it. It wasn't executed very well.
The setup was great. Just the final pass didn't go to match.
Oh, that was clunky. Another one for the highlight reel. Oh, yeah, there might have been a little bit of contact. I thought, yeah.
I think it might be on the somewhere around the knee area. I think his head went down. So let's hope that it hasn't put her out of action. That would be a great loss to the German team if she went down.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm giving her the points in that collision, though. She knocks off lead down to the ground. Just got a little bit of a knock at the same time. She's over into the interchange box now. Let's see what the referees call here because the ball has hit the ground.
I think she was saying, look, you might have the dancing feet, but come in, if you want to run at me, you're going to fall over. You're going to come off second best.
It's a penalty for something. I'm not too sure what is.
No,
There's quite a distance.
But he's marched them back
20 metres.
20 metres is right.
So, Germany, they turn the ball over. I hope errors don't start creeping in.
Slowly starting to fall apart for the Germans.
Yeah, there's only so much defence you can do before it really starts to take an effect on you. And Malif just tried to kick on the outside then. He makes his way to the substitution box. They're just shy of the 5 metre zone. They're into that area now. Oh, they just popped the ball back on the inside. I think maybe stayed on the left-hand side. The short ball might have been on for them.
Yeah, I think so. It was certainly the space on that side. Here we go. Germany's got their point up. Their number 3's working hard. Oh!
Wow. If he holds that, does he score himself? Not too sure. It was really close, but I can't wait to look back at that.
I think he could have gone down and scored that one.
As soon as he got the ball, he just whipped it straight back. I'm not too sure if his wing support knew it was on either. She did turn the ball over in the end. Would have been a spectacular touchdown if it pulled off. But might have just got a little bit too fancy there for the South Africans.
South Africa pouncing on those first 2 touches. They've been able to keep the Germans back. Still haven't crossed the halfway line. Takes a dummy half. She's picking up. Oh, she's dummy half. She didn't realise that. Here we go. Making their way direct through the field again.
Oh, there's a little
I'm sure he
bobble
was
as
in
well.
the ruck. Referees don't see it my way. Isn't that the commentator's way? What's going on there?
Yeah, they don't have a direct link to us in the commentary box. They're definitely not tuning in. even if they did, I don't think they'd be listening anyway, would they? This is better from the Germans, but they have to come back. At least it was good running into the line. Just couldn't get the ball down onto the ground. So McConey driving out. They come back into the middle. There's space available to them, but just didn't have the turn of foot to get on the outside of Duplessis.
They're not lacking in leg speed, the Germans. They've, when they go for it, they've certainly got some toe. It's just finding the right spaces and getting the right combinations going. Let's see what they can come up with this time.
Turn it back on the inside.
Okay.
Quick roll ball.
Pickton gone short side. She's looking for the follow.
Yeah, got hands on the ball there, so I suppose that's the next best result. Abraham's getting his hands on the ball. Probably wasn't going to eventuate back on the inside, so they give 6 more touches here to Germany.
Let's see what they're doing this side. So it's just gone to 32 Peel with a long ball, and let's see.
Yeah, ran out of options there, didn't they?
Here we go. South Africa. Again, look at the calmness they're making their way. Nice. Ball through the hands to the subbing box. Touch count 3. And they're calling their players around.
They're just taking the metres too easily at the moment. Nice ball as well. They go down right on the 5. The half just goes away from it, overran it, and they couldn't readjust after that.
Just lost a bit of structure there, South Africa. Just when they were getting near the strike zone. Here we go. Nice yards. They just need to anticipate or make their touch, the Germans.
Over the mark penalty given, unfortunately. And South Africa will progress it forward to the mark. They take the tap now. Great to see Germany at the World Cup, though. It's really starting to boom over in Germany, touch football, which is good to see.
I think it's fantastic for these developing nations of the game. It's great to see, and they certainly have, the enthusiasm, and they've got some talent. It's just obviously it's raw at this stage, so some bit of coaching. Nice play. Nice play by South Africa. Just a really simple peel play there. Across the line, player receiving the ball virtually only had to take 2 steps and put it down, but it's all to do about a really nice clean setup, clean dump of the ball, dummy half, just releasing, player walks through. Nice.
Yeah, and that brings up number 10 for South Africa. Germany just the 1 touchdown in this match. Oh, I'd love to see them get another one on the board. They're moving the ball nicely at the moment in this set, and they've got sweepers coming around as well. So even though the scoreline is not looking great for them, they're still going as hard as they can. Oh, big touch made there, coming in from the right link to shut that one down. But better enterprising play from Germany. It's the last touch though now. They're still running here. They're running around and looking for the wrap play, but that was better.
That was better. It was a shame. They tried a couple of quickie plays, but the roll ball had just stepped the wrong way. There were some opportunities there. And here we
come
go.
Back to their sub-box side now, and there's been a fumble in the ruck as well. Looking up for the referee. Thought there might have been German players in the ruck. Not called. And they're back on the attack.
Nice yards. Here we go. Early touch count for the Germans. Let's see what they can come up with. They're not afraid to throw that ball around, that's for sure. It's a peel play. Oh, here we go. Still an early touch count for the Germans. Let's see if they can get something organised. Oh, just incorrect roll ball. Again, mentioned earlier in the first half, the referees are watching to make sure that the player steps, and we've got a runaway going on here.
Yeah, they just weren't in any position to recover after that change over there, and there was just space. But he looks extremely quick as well. Didn't really get out of second gear, didn't need to, and they streak away for yet another touchdown here.
Just to go back to that penalty, so the referees are really looking to make sure that the the person being touched is square stepping across the ball or forward of the ball and not making the touch and stepping back. So Germans need to watch that going forward. And
So 3/4 time now, and another chance for the players to grab a drink. And we'll take a short break as well. 11-1 is the score in the mixed open match here on field 1 between South Africa and Germany.
And here we go in the final quarter. South Africa versus Germany in the open mix. Germany with the ball to restart the fourth quarter. Let's see what they can do. It's a 21 peel. It's gone wide.
Yeah, get nervous every time South Africa pick the intercept off because we know that they can go the full length. They come back sub-box side. They are just not letting up here. They're relentless, South Africa. Look at the running game again coming out of the substitution box. They go more centralised now. They send it out to that left edge, fifth touch. Right, beautiful ball. The referee's going to come back for something. Forward pass, the call. Be a little bit tough on the South African side, maybe. No comment.
Let off. They were let off. Hey, but great. I actually thought the referee was going to run the block there. He came in so fast into that play. Here we go. Back to the real action here. The German team seem to be really going down that wing link channel. They seem to be persevering. I think if they just change the channel line and more focused on the middle and the link line, then that will definitely take that opportunity up for a intercept. Here we go, another little follow play.
Ooh. Yeah, Colholm again, the chief playmaker of this
Let's see if they
German
can put a
side.
stop.
Yeah, good comment that you made. They really need to try to get up defensively. That helps. They have to go back to the mark. They're looking a little bit more clunky in this set, South Africa, so the German side need to really pay attention to this, and they have. So really from touch one, they didn't look good in that set, South Africa. And it was clunky as changes came onto the field, and they've turned it over at the same time.
And I think for any team that are really watching, I think that really shows that if you can get up early on the first one or two touches, it does put your team on the front foot as a defense team. So let's see, they're in a good position now to make a strike.
Here it is. Oh, goes the short ball again. Had to get hands on that Duplessis to stop that one. It really opened up. We could see it almost before it happened. But geez, if Duplessis got his hands on that, he might have gone away to the races as well. But it's 6 more for Germany. It just bobbles around a little bit in the ruck. Ooh, strong touch, but accidental. The referee just says he's up on the next one, champion. And Coleman again in the middle. See if she gets the quickie back. She does. Comes back. It might be all back on the inside again. Oh, it's been another collision. Poor Coleman. She is taking knocks left, right, and centre in this match. And
she is in the thick of things, as they say. She's gone to the back of the field. She says, "I'll just rest this one out.
Yeah,
Give me a couple of minutes, ref, and I'll coach, and I'll be back."
She'll be back, no doubt about it. She gave the thumbs up as she was walking off. So again, that's just another head knock. Poor lass, but she'll be back on the field, no doubt about that. Germany are going to get another penalty here. South Africans not moving forward off the line. And 6 more touches here to Germany. They're just looking for a little bit of static play. They come back to the left-hand side of the field. Good scramble defence from South Africa.
Germans choosing to go short side on that, and was just a mirror up by the South African team, so well defended. Gone back in.
Yeah, it was forward off the ruck. Just got into a difficult position on the roll ball. Got another German injury here. Unfortunately, they're falling apart. He's landed on his fingers. I hope one of them's not facing sideways or anything like that. It can be a common injury. I don't think there's a finger I haven't dislocated.
I think we've just found a new subbing box. It's called the back of the
field.
Back
of the field. You're not suggesting this could be a tactic just to get off the field a little bit quicker, are you?
Smart move. Here we go. South Africa. Let's see what through the field. Let's see if the Germans can hold them out this time. I think it's touch count 3. Goes out that ball in hand. 5th and final. Let's see what they can come up with.
A good scramble from Germany in the end. Again, it was just a South African ball movement. That progresses them up the field. They come out to the left-hand side. They're numbered, but it's the footwork again that's creating chances here for South Africa. Oh, the referee's going to pull them back. Yeah, the crowd were clapping. They thought it was a touchdown in the corner. The referee's about 10 kilometres away on the other side of the field. He saw something that everybody else in the crowd didn't and pulls them back.
Nice play by South Africa. Unfortunately, a couple of those passes just in the end went forward, but they chose the right options just in the execution. Here we go. South Africa are up, really shutting that momentum down of the German team. Let's see. They're caught behind their 10. I'm going direct, says the German player.
Yeah, South African players caught offside and referees pulling them back nice and deep on this set.
Just coming around. It's a sweep play from 30 metres out.
5th touch. Turnover. I'm looking at them straight back on the roll ball. Still clapping from the sideline. There are plenty of enthusiasm still coming from the South Africa box, but they've turned the ball over. And they're in danger territory down this end of the field.
There's more enthusiasm shown in this quarter by the German team. Great to see. Let's see what they can pull together. Is a sweep play coming? No.
Yeah, they don't mind throwing the ball around as well, do they?
I think in some of those early counts, it might pay for the German team to initiate their touch just so they can get a better roll on. Here we go. Follow play. Oh!
That was going to be a touchdown for all money. Huss was just a little bit behind the support player. Hits the deck a little bit hard as well. They just couldn't reel that in. Alan Stockton throwing the ball.
So they've definitely had the opportunity, the German team. So it's been that final execution of their play, just not coming to hand there. So let's see if they can hold them out again. The defence so far has been good.
Great drive into the line. They're on the back foot again. They go left to right, but yeah, just couldn't execute the final pass. It's forward as well.
I think there might be the 4th forward pass by the South African team down in this strike zone. So hands on hips by the German players. They're certainly feeling it in this heat.
Absolutely. So they're coming out of their end of the field. They're going to go to the sub-box side. They're desperate to get some changes here, Germany.
It's
Better running, isn't it?
Certainly better. Let's keep the momentum going. You've got it. Don't slow it down now. So let's see what they can do.
Yeah, he's... I was going to say defensive footwork. I reckon he might have rolled on his ankle there at the same time. The German number 1 player is Matthew Dang. He's back to his feet now, just looking a little bit ginger.
Is our favourite German player. She's
back on the field. We knew that she'd be back on the field. Oh, it'd take a tank to try to run through it to stop her from getting back out there.
I think the dive may, the execution of the dive may be causing some of the issues for the German players.
Bit of a marlin dive, that one, wasn't it? Entertaining.
Here we go. We've got our strike player back on the ball. She's starting to organise things.
She's going to set one. She's either going to set one up or score one in this set, I reckon.
She really looks for that follow play.
Loves it.
Good defence, South Africa up to the task. Holding the line so far. Here we go. Middle pushed out early. He's up high. Nice. German's a quickie play. Again, the follow.
God.
South Africa, middle, just getting their hands in the way there. They've had that opportunity a number of times, just not getting that final pass to the player to get that touchdown.
So send it out again. Just working static plays at the moment, the Germans. And Colmheim again. There's a lot of pointing going on from Germany. South Africa not too flustered at the moment. They send their defence up to make the touch. They go back out to this left-hand side. Oh, yeah, they were well numbered. There's another penalty here for Germany. So a lot of repeat sets. South Africa, oh, there goes the ambitious dive again. And he must have seen the clock at some stage. Knew he had to go for it. But it was a super impressive performance from South Africa. They're rolling along nicely. 3 wins now on the board for them in the Mixed Open. Michael, thank you very much for joining me in commentary. It was a pleasure.
Pleasure. Thank you very much. And it's great to see the Germans really come back in that final quarter, just to hold the line. So it's been great. Great game of touch. Great weather. Fantastic to be here.
So plenty more games coming your way on the live stream. Stay tuned. There's more action coming back from the 2019 World Cup.